and welcome back to Building Wealth on the Go, a podcast by KLT Wealth Management. My name is Brad Wilson, Financial Advisor with KLT Wealth Management, and today I'm joined by my entire team, Certified Financial Planner Joe Filiomeni, Qualified Associate Financial Planner Courtney Beach, and Client Relationship Manager Jamie Craven-Lovell. So, welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of our podcast. Today is December 3rd, 2020, and we wanted to look forward as we approach the end of the year to 2021 and provide top 10 tips on things for success as we head into the new year.
Hey, Brad.
Yes?
Seeing that it's it's Christmas, we're getting close to Christmas. What if we do the 12 days before Christmas, the 12 tips for 2021? How about that? Do you think we can do that?
I love it. Let's add 2 more into this. We're heading into the holiday season. Spirit is high. Let's give everyone 2 extra tips today and do the 12 days before Christmas. Let's jump right into what we should look forward to going into the new year and tips and tricks for success.
So I think the first one is that we need to watch our spending. Now that it's Christmas time, everybody needs to watch what they're spending.
Oh, big time. Yeah. That's a great one, Jamie. So yeah, I know myself, I've been on Amazon quite a bit. I have to admit, and parcels keep piling up here at the office.
We're starting to get to know the guy's name.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about it. So yeah, watching your expenses during the Christmas season, even just after Christmas, it's just watching. And I think we can all agree it's often the little things that bite into your cash flow. It's not the large dollar items.
Yeah. And especially at Christmas, it's like the stocking stuffers, the coffees while you're out shopping and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one thing too is they cram. There's a lot of holidays. You look at the American Thanksgiving, you've got your Black Friday right before, so all these deals everyone wants to spend, and then you get closer to Christmas and the end of the year, and you want to buy more gifts, and then there's Boxing Day afterwards, and then there's more deals. So it's just a really bad, I'd say, month in terms of enticing you to buy more. But I think, especially this year, if you are out buying gifts, one thing is maybe try to buy local. Right? We talk about a lot of businesses hurting this year. If you are able to, and some businesses, this is what they're relying on to kind of stay open through these really, really tough times that we've had this year. So to kind of help the community, help propel them. I know even some local businesses here in Ottawa have delivered, and I've been able to order through them online or over the phone, and then they deliver. So they've hired some courier services. So if you are going to spend a little bit through the Christmas season, monitor it, but see if you can buy a little bit local as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
And a second tip is to pay off your bad debt. For sure.
Yeah, that is a real good one. There's a lot of debt out there which varies in interest when it comes to your payments. And if you're able to consolidate or if you're able to pay it off, that's a really important thing to look to in the new year.
Yeah, I know for the younger generation, they're a lot of times very focused on paying off their student loans. And if you got a government loan, the rate is probably really great. But if you've got credit cards or something like that, the rates are horrible, especially right now with our low interest rates. So you want to pay off those first before your student loan.
Yeah, and I think the key too is once you've got your debt paid off or somewhat consolidated, try to keep it down. Like that's, I think the problem is that you clean up all your debt and then you just start, increasing it again. And it just becomes, it's those small purchases that are biting into the cash flow. So that's a great point, Courtney.
Yeah, no, and I think even tying into that, I've got a point here is it's important to live within your means. And, we have lots of goals down the road. You want that big house, that big car. But in the moment right now, try to tailor your spending to what you can afford and keep working hard, and you're going to achieve that. You're going to grow within your career, within life, but it's important to live within your means and not stretch that, especially when it comes to your financial situation.
Yeah, and social media doesn't help with that, with all the Instagrams and the TikTokers showing how fabulous their life is. You feel this need to emulate it, but a lot of times what you see behind the camera isn't exactly what you see in front of it either.
It's a generational thing. I keep coming back to that. I hate to say it, but you know, that newer generation, your generation, they want immediate satisfaction, right? They can't wait, and they want that house, they want that brand new car and stuff. And I know even for my kids, I tell them, be patient. Be patient. Things will happen. Things will work out, and you'll get what you want. You don't have to have it all before age 30. Yeah, you know, so that's, I think, a great consideration, is to kind of be patient a bit, and things will happen.
Yeah, but to defend the younger generation a little bit, I have seen people come into our office before who are very close to retirement and want us to be a financial Harry Potter. And if you're a young generation, you don't want to be one of those people. So yeah, living with your needs now.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. That's for sure. I've got day 4. It should have been day 5, because I could have sang it. Meet with your financial advisor. But it's day 4. That's okay. I think that should be first and foremost in 2021. You should be scheduling, you know, a meeting with your financial advisor. Your financial advisor should be scheduling with you. Take the time to meet with your financial advisor. If 2020 didn't show us much, anything, it showed us that we can sort of communicate on a virtual basis with our clients, and it's quick, it's simple, it's easy. You're in your home. We're doing a video chat, you know, so just touching base, I think, with the financial advisor, just to say, okay, this is what I'm thinking about. This is 2021. You know, these are sort of the changes that we're looking. Are we on track with our investments? So we'd be making some changes. I think taking that time to have that conversation with your financial advisor is really, really important.
Yeah, and then that leads into my next tip is when you get to talk with them, they can invest in what they want to better help themselves for the next year and know it a little better because they're reaching out and talking with you.
Yeah, I think you got to understand what you're investing into, as much as, you know, you're not the financial advisor, but you have to understand what you're investing in. And, you know, you may have certain values that are very important to you, and you want to invest in companies that share those values, right? You know, we did, Brad and Courtney did the series on ESG and SRI. It's a great series. If you get a chance to go and watch it on our YouTube and our podcasts, you know, I think that's the way people are investing now, is more on their value based.
Yeah, and you need to look under the hood, because some things, you know, like other things in life, like a car, it might look bright and shiny on the outside, but might not be what you think on the inside. So yeah, talk to your advisor and know what you're buying.
Yeah, absolutely. I think more than anything, there's all these different thematic themes as we go into 2021 when it comes to investments, and have that conversation, understand what's out there, and then you're able to decide there. But I've got a great next point. I think it's important to buy fear and sell greed. It's really important to stay patient, stay rational, and not to be greedy, especially in times of fluctuation.
Yeah, that's you know, 2020 was, you know, a case study for that, where, you know, we reached out to a number of clients and said, okay, if you have some cash, now's the time to put it in, because, you know, the markets are selling off, and some did and some didn't. And, you know, now they're coming back saying, oh, I should have put some money in because I had it, but they couldn't buy into that fear, right? And I think that's what you got to be buying when people are selling, and you got to sell at a point in time when the markets are doing really well, and you need to reposition your portfolio. So, you know, working with your financial advisor is going to help you with that, but having that degree of confidence in order to do it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think it's important too that whenever this is happening, timing the market becomes the theme, right? Some people are trying to time the market, whether it's on a high or on a low, and it's understanding and having the expectations going in that you're not going to sell on the highest day, and you're not going to buy in at the lowest day. But it's about on certain days that may be close to the high or close to the lows. It's about, in general, at those points, taking advantage of the fear in the marketplace and also some of the greed in the markets as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And that lines up with sort of your overall retirement planning, really, and knowing your retirement plan, knowing that you're on track. You know, how much money do I need when I retire? How much money will I spend when I'm retired as well? So having that, again, conversation with the financial advisor, determining that goal, looking at it on an annual basis. Are we on track? Are we not on track? You know, knowing that you got that goal out there and working towards that goal makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I know we've been using a lot of planning and retirement calculators this year with clients. I think it's been an important thing to, especially in times that are a little bit crazy. We're going through a pandemic, which doesn't happen very often, thankfully. And it's important to review that on a regular basis, to check in, see where you're at, see if you're on track, see if there's any adjustments that need to be made. And that's the importance of working with a financial advisor on a yearly basis and ensuring that you know where you're at and if you're on track, and then keeping that up to date and checking in. It doesn't really help if you do it once and forget about it. It's important to keep it going on an ongoing basis there.
And for my next tip, to always make sure that you're paying yourself first too when it comes to that.
Yeah, great point, Jamie. Says like, and here's the question I have for you, Jamie. What does it mean to pay you first? Does it mean to go out and buy that fur coat that you've been looking at? Is that paying you first?
No, it's to set aside some money from your paycheck, a certain percentage each time, and building that up for yourself to be able to buy that fur coat down the road.
That's right. At some
Yeah.
point, yeah. Such a great point, you know, is paying yourself. We've learned that in school so often, and so often people are not. They're utilizing those dollars today, and it's more they're consuming those dollars and not necessarily paying themselves first and putting that money away for that rainy day, for that goal, for that fur coat, for that house.
The idea is to make it a more of a fixed expense for yourself to put money away, whether it's for the fur coat, whether it's for your retirement or a house, and make that something fixed that you have to, you obligate yourself to put away, instead of something that you'll put away if I have a little extra money, because you'll never have an extra money. You'll always have those little things we talked about earlier to spend it on.
Yeah, treat it as an expense. Treat it as that you have to pay yourself every paycheck. It is mandatory for you to pay yourself in 20 years or in 15 years when you might, need it, right? Or when you're looking to retire. And if you treat that as an expense, then, it'll build up over time. Maybe that expense has to grow. Maybe you've got to put more away, and you treat that and you budget that in. And then I think also a little bit, pay yourself today. With a little bit of money, pay yourself today. Enjoy life as you're going through it right now. But it's really important that you do pay yourself for tomorrow and for the long run.
Yeah, and that brings me to my next tip, is to stay focused on your goal. Especially this year, there was a lot of noise, and yeah, you just need to keep focused.
Yeah, that's a great point, especially with 2020 and that all the noise and how many people, a few people that that talked about sort of pulling out of the market completely when they have a long-term view and their goals are long-term, but yet they want to pull out the market. Again, that to Brad's point of timing the market doesn't work, doesn't help.
No.
So trying to avoid all that noise and unfortunately in this world of communication that we have now in social media, it's hard to avoid all that noise and stay focused on your goals.
I think even from a mental health standpoint, it's important to avoid the noise of the news on a regular basis. I know even personally, I stopped watching the news every night because it just gets, especially in 2020, it's just piling on and it's adding in more stress, more anxiety, more concern. And I think it's just important to take a step back and just block it out, understand what's going on, be safe about everything, but at the end of the day, not overwork, overstress yourself when it comes to the current situation that we're in.
And you have to remember that the news networks, they're there to sell you a story. They want you to view, they want you to click. So they're going to come up with the most sensational subjects and titles they can. And you just got to filter it out and realize that that's what they're doing too.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next point is, as well, you should always have a contingency plan, like that what if, and what if the markets do crash again, or what if anything could happen. The next year could be the same. Really, we
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, you need to kind of run through that emergency what if plan every now and again. I think 2020, I think, opened up a lot of people's eyes in terms of, you know, what if I lose my job? What if this happens? What if, God forbid, I pass away and stuff? And kind of assess your situation as much as possible, and have that contingency plan that, you know, I can access this money, or I can do this, or I can do that. So no, that's an excellent point. Really excellent.
Yeah. Usually the tip is to have a savings for 6 months. Now, no one thought the pandemic would last as many months as this, but you should always have little pockets of money somewhere just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that ties in perfectly to my tip here. Day 11, making sure your estate is in order, making sure you've got everything covered, all your bases, on top of a contingency plan. No matter your age, you should be looking at putting a will together, having some power of attorneys. Life insurance, extremely important at a young age. You could save yourself lots of money in the long run by locking in a low insurance premium. So there's lots of things to talk about, even in your early 20s, even early, like late 20s. That's like your prime time to start getting all of this stuff organized as you enter the, you know, the important years of your life where you're going to be working, possibly starting a family, making big purchases like a home. So it's important to get all that in order while you're young, early. And if you haven't yet, no matter what age you are, it's important to get it done now.
Yeah, I think the problem is that, especially for the younger age. Yeah, I hate, you know, harping on the younger people. Sorry, guys. But it's not exciting enough. It's not exciting. It's not a tangible thing that I'm going to enjoy. Like, I'm going to drive in, I'm going to wear and stuff. So it's not exciting to get a will, and it's pretty morbid. If you really think about it, you're thinking about death, right? And stuff. But boy, you know, we've seen so many situations where the affairs weren't in order, their state wasn't in order, and things were quite a mess, and you pretty much leave a mess for the people that you love. And that's not fair to them. And I'm sure nobody wants that. So taking that time, and it doesn't take that a lot amount of time, and you can work with your financial advisor in establishing your estate, and kind of outlining some of the things you should be thinking about in your wills and power of attorney. And it doesn't really take that much time at the end of the day, and then it's done. Having that all in place is so important at an early age. Now, I'll admit there's some older people that come in that don't have it either, and then they're kind of scrambling to look for the different options that may be available to them, which is limited as you get older. That's the problem, especially when you get into some life insurances and disability insurances and things like that. So great point for day 11. Was that day 11?
Yes.
Already?
We're already there. I know.
We're on the last one.
Day 12. What can I say for day 12? Really, let's think. Like, we've gone through a lot of stuff. You know, I think day 12, I think we just got to sit back and be grateful. I think that's all. You know, we gotta thank God, and you know, and just the fact that, you know, we're healthy, our families are good and stuff. And I think ultimately we need to have that that faith that in 2021 things will continue to get better for everybody. And we pray for all of the people that did pass away due to COVID, and we pray for their families especially, and we hope that this never happens again. But we just got to be grateful for what we have, and carry on from there.
Yeah, and we're very grateful for all those frontline workers who have been doing all this hard work for us.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just also being thankful for all of you guys, our team, right? It's been a year. We've worked through a lot. I think being thankful, all of our clients, maintain those great relationships throughout this year with all of our clients as well.
Yes.
And being thankful for everyone tuning into this podcast. Thank you for listening. This is something we launched this year, and we've really enjoyed it. We've had great feedback on it, and it's something we're really excited to continue into the new year. So crazy enough, that wraps up the 12 days before Christmas, our 12 tips heading in. It has been, as I said, this is going to be our last podcast for 2020. We'll be back strong coming into the new year with lots of updates as we tackle 2021. I think a lot of people, myself included, are excited to close out 2020 and move forward with, as Joe, you mentioned, some brighter, more optimistic times. So that's where we'll end it today. Wishing everyone well, happiness, health, safety through the holiday season, and hope everyone has a great time virtually as much as they can with their family and with their close circle that they live with at home. Wishing you all the best and a happy new year. We will see you in 2021.
Merry Christmas,
Bye.
everybody. Merry Christmas.
Bye.